Yo, you're watching the Screaming Fish here, also known as SF for short, and also known as The Typical Fish. And today, for my first video on YouTube, I'll be ranking the Star Wars films. Yep, you heard me, I'm ranking the Star Wars films. Now, the original trilogy are my three favourite movies of all time, but the prequel trilogy... So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, I'm going to be starting off with the worst of the six. I'm not going to be doing like the two TV shows or the animated movies because there's way too many stuff to talk. Because then I'd be overstuffing it. I'd rather concentrate on the main three because they're the main three, really. So yeah, let's get to it. So the worst Star Wars movie. Now most people on this occasion would say The Phantom Menace. Well, I would disagree because The Phantom Menace is not the worst Star Wars movie in my opinion. In fact, the worst Star Wars movie is Attack of the Clones. Yes, I hate Attack of the Clones so much. You don't even want to know how much I despise this movie. The only good thing I can say were the visual effects and special effects. But I didn't really like it. I mean, the title I didn't like either because what's the point in calling it Attack of the Clones if there's barely any clone troopers in it? And once more we've got Jedi, like Jedi's in Tunics for some reason. I don't really get that. And yeah, I mean, and also the clone troopers, who would one day become the stormtroopers. They look. I don't like their design. They look like giant rugby players almost, and honestly, they don't look one bit like the stormtroopers. I mean, I expected them to look exactly like the stormtroopers, but they didn't. So, I guess that's on me for trusting George Lucas with the second prequel. But I guess one of the only good things I liked about it was the origin story to Boba Fett, which we can all agree was pretty good. But other than that, this movie is actually pretty terrible. Yeah. So now I am going to go with the second worst, which is obviously The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace was a huge disappointment. When people first saw that trailer, they cried with joy. In fact, even I kind of cried with joy when I wanted to see when I first watched The Phantom Menace on DVD. But I mean, I liked it at first, but that was when I was like 6 or something. But then, as I grew up, I started to realize how terrible this film actually was. So, yeah, honestly, this Phantom Menace is actually the biggest disappointment I've had to sit through. I mean, from Jar Jar Binks to the oh my god, it's just so bad. I mean, I was so disappointed. I think I even remember crying one time. I mean, Jar Jar Binks was so irritating, and honestly, I didn't even actually like that lightsaber fight between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn. I didn't really like that because they weren't actually trying to hit Darth Maul himself. They were literally just trying to hit what's his name? They were literally just trying to hit the lightsabers instead of the actual bodies. I mean, even Darth Maul was doing that. And, yeah, I mean... And also the action was just so boring, especially the laser gun battles. And, I mean, and the final act, the space battle is just a rip-off of the Death Star battle. And, yeah. I just hated that film. So yeah, now we're on to the, third worst, which is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, I will admit, Revenge of the Sith is the best of a bad bunch. It's got great CGI, despite having overused CGI. The lightsaber fights are amazing, especially the final battle. And also we have more original movie accurate clone troopers that look more like stormtroopers now. Then again, and we even have the Rise of the Empire, and some of the some of the coolest action I've ever seen on film. But still, I don't really like this film. I don't really like this film as much as I like the original. I hate it just as much as the other two prequels. But like the story is boring, just like the other two prequels. The Anakin Skywalker is a huge crybaby in this one. He's very unlikable. All the characters are just so underdeveloped, and it was so boring at times. There's way too many politics in this film, and yeah, honestly, I didn't think this was any better than the other two. So yeah. So now we're on to the good ones. Finally. So yeah, now the good ones, obviously the original trilogy. My third best is Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Episode 4: A New Hope surpassed critics' expectations. A lot of people thought this film was going to suck in a day, but actually they found they were so wrong when they watched it. From the battle to the Death Star, the TIE fighter battles, the laser gun fights, the science fiction but realistic characters. It was just so amazing to actually see this film. I mean, no film today has really surpassed this film, really. I mean, then it has really copied this, but every copycat or spin-off has not really even surpassed this film. I mean, then again, the film Serenity is indeed the best attempt. Well, that and Guardians of the Galaxy, but still, the Star Wars is one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, my second favorite Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. I absolutely love Return of the Jedi. It's the best third act in a film franchise I've ever seen in my life. The action, special effects is amazing. The story is great. The laser battles are awesome as usual. It's really funny as well. And yeah, I mean, I just love Return of the Jedi. The only reason I don't think it's the best Star Wars film is because of the Ewoks. Yeah, I hate the Ewoks. But other than that, the lightsaber fight between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker was also amazing. And I also like Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber as well in this film, and I also like the big twist that Leia is actually Luke Skywalker's sister, which was weird because in The Empire Strikes Back they actually kiss. Very weird. So yeah. So now we're on to episode 5. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is the best Star Wars movie. And no one can deny that it is the best Star Wars film. And yeah, the best. I mean, like, it's the darkest out of the lot, I will admit. I mean, the fact that the bad guys win is really dark, and also, it was the first movie to actually have a story where the bad guys win instead of the heroes. And yeah, the lightsaber fight where Luke gets his hand cut off is really a joy to watch. The action as well, and plus, Boba Fett, I mean, while he didn't have much to do in the film, I always liked seeing him on screen. And, yeah, I mean, I just loved watching this film. I just, it was just so awesome. And yeah, and it was really sad as well, and yeah. I love Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. It's my favourite movie of all time, and I won't really let anyone take that from me. Alright, so, now we're done with that. Now, yes, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the two trailers for Episode 7, which do look amazing. I'm glad Episode 7 is going back to the original trilogy roots instead of the prequel roots. Thank God. and honestly, I'm really excited for Episode 7. I'm going to see it at Christmas. I'm so going to see it, And, yeah. Also, I even wore my Star Wars signature t-shirt as well. Yeah, see, look at Yoda being a dude on my t-shirt. So, yeah, that's my first video on YouTube, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and, on the next video, I'll be ranking all 5 Terminator films, and then after that, I will be doing the, Spider-Man films. So, I'll see you guys then, and bye.